Hello, my friends out there on the internet. Welcome back to another look back here on my channel at Rob Roberts Plays. We're going to be looking at a game I'm a little less familiar with a cute little musical interlude here at the beginning. This is the Atari 2600 version of Mr. Do. Now, here's the thing. I actually played a lot of the arcade version of this game when I was younger because I remember they had it at like a local arcade, or I want to say it was like a local yogurt shop or something like that. Was the place. I have no idea why I'm getting all these different achievements. Oh, it must be those little one-up guys that are walking around, which I rarely remember seeing in the arcade version of this game. Those guys were like kind of hard to get to pop out. But yeah, I used that little ball. Oh, wow, I literally was just standing there in the center and that guy decided to eat my face. The leopard just showed up and ate my face. But that little ball that you have, you press the button and it... Oh, that's right. The monsters can... I got confused there for a minute because the monsters can actually eat the cherries as well. It's not just you that can eat the cherry and end the level. Let's see if I can actually get this guy with the R. Oh, it makes a little noise, so you know. Oh, of course it went like right around him. So this is like obviously got big Dig Dug vibes, but there's a certain like... This has to stop. It's like I can't even walk in the middle. I don't remember that being a thing. I thought the original arcade version of this that like the oh, that guy came right for me. In the original arcade version of this, I seem to recall that like you would have a moment while those things are still spawning before they actually spawn. But this version of the game is almost don't stand in the center at all. But yeah, obviously my mind as I am learning a game while simultaneously playing it here is going a million miles an hour. But, you know, you have the ability to eat all the cherries, right? Or you can also, I think another way to clear the board is you can actually eliminate all of the monsters, and that's by apple or Powerball or whatever means. These guys that chomp you up are pretty nasty, so let's drop a house on her. Let's see, can we get this guy? Because that guy's the extra letter, right? But boy, this is even though this is probably a better translation than Pac-Man. I think we all know the story behind Pac-Man. I'm going to assume this has a little more... See, I didn't get that one by the cherries. I got that by killing all the monsters. This one has a little more RAM in it, probably, that allowed them to make a better port than probably what Pac-Man ended up being. Still, I can't help but notice the entire bottom of the screen is, like, cut off. Oh, womp womp. And so I wonder if they did that to sort of help draw the elements on the screen a little bit faster so it didn't flicker as much, although you certainly see a little bit of flicker towards the bottom of the screen. There's also 4 game modes in this. I do try to read the manual before doing these streams, and I did notice there is there's different game modes in this, so it actually goes all the way up to 4. And 4 is supposed to be, look at that, he's running. So if 1 went about as well for me as you saw, I can only imagine how well game 4 is gonna go. Is he gonna like fly, or what's the deal gonna be? Oh no, okay, he still moves the same speed. But I'm going to assume the monsters are just a little meaner in these levels. Probably going to need to be a little more aggressive using my Powerball than I was in the last game. Of course, that doesn't help if it doesn't hit anybody. Oh my gosh. Oh. Apple to death. Ha ha ha. Great. Already looking better than last game. Okay. And game 4 is supposed to be the scary one, but now I know. Avoid the center. It's cute that they kind of keep that same tone progression that the arcade version of this had. Except in the arcade version, oh, I gotta really watch trying to dig in front of monsters. Cheap. In the arcade version of this, there were 8 cherries in a row. Because I remember it would be, you know, it's the typical music sequence of do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do. So this is only going up to what? La? Oh shit, I left a cherry up there way in the top. I was like, why am I running for that apple? It's going to do nothing for me. See, interesting sort of conundrum too, because the more you dig, the the more your ball could just go anywhere at once. It makes it harder to actually clear out the board. Okay. So you have to kind of clear tunnels. Okay. And then that way your ball actually has a place to travel. But again, unlike the arcade version of the game, when you dig... Oh, jeez, that guy started sprinting at me. Oh my gosh. Unlike the arcade version of the game, when you dig next to something that's already been dug through, I seem to remember, maybe I'm just getting this confused with Dig Dug, which like Mood, right? You would still have just like a little bit of dirt in between. But I feel like in this one, because it just can't handle that much data with the pixels, you actually are digging it completely out. So it just makes maneuvering in this game just way more dangerous even than the arcade version of the game. But you know, like many of the arcade ports on the Atari 2600, let's do another level. Let's try to like slow it down a little bit, but not maybe all the way. Let's go to like, I think we're gonna take it a nice leisurely 2. Let's see how 2 goes. But as I was saying, with different arcade versions of the game and kind of the way they translate sometimes to the Atari 2600, sometimes it's more about getting the feel. Does it feel like the old 80s game? Ooh, look at me being daring, running right through the center. Even if it doesn't necessarily translate absolutely the same way as the old game. I barely missed that cherry there. Okay. It's kind of similar to when we were talking about like Donkey Kong a few days ago, depending on the order you're actually watching these videos. Donkey Kong is also a little bit rough around the edges, but it does a really good job of emulating what you might remember about the arcade version of that game. Ooh, I got real lucky there. Oh, shoot. I tried to throw the power ball back and just was a little too late on that. Y'all thought that guy was going to eat my face right out the gate again, didn't you? There we go. Okay, as long as I get my ball back. Come on, come on, come on. Hurry, 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 hurry. Oop, oop. Oh, so close. See, and now we have too much dug out, and that ball's just going to go wherever it wants, and I can't believe he ate my face. Same problem. Okay, I got a little more lucky with the physics that time. There we go. I'll show you. Okay, we're almost there. Oh, come on, come on. There. Got him. Got him. And I could finish that last guy off, but I'd rather just get all the cherries and try to get further than I did the last couple games. I believe there's 8 boards in one rotation of Mr. Do. So you got to get through 8 boards. And then, of course, in great 80s fashion, it all starts over again. Oh, did you see that? I just kited him the entire way across the bottom of the board until I got my power pellet back, and then we're able to get him. Oh, that was not working out well for me until it did. Yeah. It just doesn't quite feel like arcade Dig Dug. It's just different enough. Okay. Wow, I didn't even know you could do that. I threw the power ball like into the sand or whatever you want to call it. I wonder if the game can draw more than 2 of those things. This is a really good board too because there's only one. Look at that. There's only one path that ball can go. And then I'm going to break it here, but that's okay. Oh! I thought I'd crush him in time. We almost got there. All right, let's try one more. I'm going to go back to the slow boards. Now that I'm learning more about this game as I do it, or I should say this conversion of the game as I do it, I feel like I'm getting better each and every time, and that's what it's all about, right? You gotta... Oops. That did not work out right for me. Whoops, let's try that again. Okay, there we go. Game 1. There we go. Right out the gate. Right out the gate. Powerball to the face. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. He wants revenge. He wants revenge. He's not happy. Check out that chomper just going after every cherry on the board. Okay. Okay. Don't go through the middle. Because that's how they got you last time. I don't know if I've ever in the history of ever been able to light up all of those extra letters. In fact, I don't think I have a single one this game so far, but that's okay. We're still relatively early. In some ways, I wonder if it isn't advantageous to just have a Powerball flying around at all times. But at the same time, if I end up in one of those situations where, you know, he turns into Monster Face and starts really aggressively chasing me, you kind of don't want to be without a Powerball, which is like what's about to happen to me right here, is he's going to aggressively chase me, and I can't do anything about it. Those cherries were not in a great spot, but we pulled it out. All right. See, I should be running a ball. Oh, he danced around that apple. Rude. Can we get at least one letter? Maybe? Womp. Could we just stand here and just keep attacking them as they show? Oh, no, because your Powerball doesn't respond that fast. Oh, no! Experiment gone very wrong. Okay, well, that was the last one, though, confirmed. Okay. Y'all, I'm just not sure I'm getting the physics down of this. I'm just too used to the arcade version of the game. I say as I haven't really played the arcade version of the game a very long time either. I don't know if that would go any better for me, but there were lots of different ports of this game. I imagine there had to be one on the Nintendo Entertainment System, so I'm gonna have to go back and revisit it at some point and see if we're able to get the rhythm a little better. But boy, with some of the spawn mechanics and just the way those monsters are really gun for you, that makes this one a very challenging sort of game to get through. But always interesting to see the way these older games were ported over to the Atari 2600 and how they made them fit on these old systems. You know, again, kind of like what you have with like the crunched board and, you know, what appears to be that you only have a certain number of monsters that would appear on the screen at once and all that good stuff. So, yeah, very interesting. And I think they cut where there would actually be an animation where the little monsters would eat the apple. I seem to remember that was a thing in the original version of the game for the arcade, and that isn't present here. But of course, they probably just didn't have all the room to fit those sorts of animations. But they crammed what they could into these cartridges, and that's what makes them very interesting to revisit and really a mastery. Even if there's things I think are a little wonky about this conversion, a lot of these conversions are real just masteries in programming and making things fit in such a small space. It's pretty incredible. So hope you enjoyed this walk down retro lane with me with another arcade classic from the 80s. And we'll do this again sometime. Thank you so much for being here. And please subscribe and follow and all that good stuff if you want to see some more. Take care, everybody. Bye.